so also remember Tom Serson, Jim Riley, Britches, Joe Zillick, Harry J. Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Leader Quinlan, Milton Anderson, Don Riley, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall, Red Randy, Red Gordon, Harry 138, 1961 Oyster Cracker Man, Bitted Bat 4, Blue Boy Boxes, GPS Paso Robo, Rapist Night, and Ellery's, Perlita Jones of the Ghetto Life, Don Riley, the group of you, Karen Faust, the country and western. Remember, space stations, okay? So the NASA space station, Japanese or Russian space stations. And so they're going to be modeled off of like clean rooms, so closed, clean environments, okay? So their standard of living up there, even though it's difficult, is going to probably be higher because they have to. It's space. So I'm sure as they watch you guys' the Gadgidian scam, that NASA and some entities are going to meet you, some of you people, after watching some of this stuff and what you do, Bernard de la Carney and Perlita of the Ghetto Life, with a big, fat no. Understand when you're running a scam that big, Bernard de la Carney, Ellery's Joe, and then you have torture. They know you guys use a city or several cities for torturing people, country and western ghetto life. So the children of the next generation, the future, I say, yes, sign up for the SpaceX project, or, because you've beaten Super Hardy Cheeks as well. You have beaten most of the people. If you maintain your school education, you have beaten most of the people that follow Bernard de la Carney or Indian Joe scam back and forth, seesawing and, overseas lying about the cans. Carney, Bernard, see, Harry, again and again and again. Some of us children told you we did not want to be bit down in your shit. Carney read with Elton or Bernard, and you people scammed because it prevented some of those families from doing what they wanted to do. So it proves, Perlita, you came in because of the butterfly or the rose and destroyed the Yahoo. You guys threw a temper tantrum, then you make up a story. You fucked up the first original Genesis or evolution with technology, because Bernard de la Carney of Ela Freeman and some of those boys think as many times as you fuck a chick or have as many of those numbers count up, that's how you win a war, and that's not how you win a war. It's just plain stupidity spreading disease. So, in order to, you have to help your military, police officers, firefighters, doctors, the FBI, CIA, those entities. You guys have to help Apple, Microsoft, Google, Intel, NASA. You guys, in order to beat your own scam, you have to help them. You can't be a drug leader cartel, Dave, Steve Jones, Perlita. If you have all the money and they need the money to fix the problems that you guys demand and have the resources, they cannot fix it if you do not share it. That's why I say you need to give those people a bigger paycheck, because the entire time that they've watched you guys destroy things on these several military bases and these people's homes, Perlita, throwing your temper tantrum with Carney Bernard, guess what? They have to fix that stuff. They probably already knew how to fix it, but they let you have your political stance, Perlita, 3 or 4 times out here or in Colorado or wherever you go, even into another nation, and lie. So be careful, Carney Bernard, in your projected eye of broadcast, when that's not how it works. Doug King. So 2 states, Texas and Lancaster, Colorado and California, have something on you people. IHS has something on you people. Lockheed does. NASA does. Your abuse, Bernard, because if they saw it from the air, then guess what? They know you're lying on the ground to try to get into the space station first, right? And so if they had meant that for me, Bailey, or Kim, or my 2 cousins, or any of those girls in those neighborhoods, they probably knew something, that they were already abuse victims of some of you men. Understand, Bernard, when you have a monopoly with that Carney shit circus that nobody fucking wanted? Get it? Changing technology and stuff around. Then you guys claim the blue boxes, and then you guys boast about your crime spree until it, man. Joe, it gets to the point where some people just want to get off the planet and away from the group of you because you're always going to do the same fucking thing. Understand, Bernard, that is not a military success or a win. It proves that you guys hold the military hostage, and the police officers hostage, and the firefighters hostage, and the FBI, CIA. There's the reason why Hoover and Ford put that stuff there. It proves which families you guys put in hostage and hostage. Well, we're gonna make demands. How could not NASA complete your demands, Bernard, if Ellery and you guys were poking eyes and chins and made the airplane explode or the rocket explode and all the massacres to get your result? How do they meet the demands if you destroy it? If you need it, but did you guys destroy? How did they do that? How did they do it, Bernard? Little Carney of the broadcast and the Indian Faders. How did they fix your problems? War cry! Let's get the military bases we need! How do they fix it, Bernard, if you guys destroy it? How do they fix your reservations, Joe, if you guys destroy it? Slash and burn, leach the fields, the crops 3 or 4 times. All the history lessons that they put online or through the history books, the schools that you mocked, Harry and Joe. The education that those people put there to, help those children succeed. Ooh, look at that. It's a peaches. Super healthy peaches, too. But anyway, how do they fix it? How do they fix your problems when you guys are doing Steely of the Bitted and lying all the time, Bernard? When I found it on the ground. Oh, that's the Kim! Now it's a man Kim instead of a girl Kim. Huh? Why is the relationships that I make with chicks that I like so important to you, Karen and Joe? Is it only because that the group of you like to destroy those relationships? And so you have, the crybaby rape session that's made up? Get it, Indian Joe of Stank. It proves that the group of you only do it to cover up your massive crime of destroying the shit out here against the Jehovah's Witnesses or the Jews, Joe. Or the Russians. Or the French people. Whatever Bernard de la Carney picks, the Spaniard people, and then they run over there and go kiss ass. Look what we did. We're heroes. So if I was NASA looking at all of this, Houston and all of that, and watching your supposed eye being created, Bernard. Like I said, playing the Gideon scam. Bernard LaChance copying off of Aaron Freeman, Victor Freeman, Justin, Paul Marino, me, plethora of people, those kids in those neighborhoods at Bryan Stand or any of them, as Stephen knew. I would meet you with an answer, Bernard and Perlita, and your pirated broadcast with your group of Team El Cortez and their obsession. With a big, just like you did, Dave, or Bernard, with the middle finger at the flag, of the Californian flag. I would meet you people with the big, same thing. No. No, Bernard. Because the reality you're trying to set in and dream up is based upon what? Cults? The communist cult, the Robo Knight and Joe? And the comic book man that you guys covered for that screwed it all up, that man's beautiful creation that you guys came in with Ellery with your 3 tubes and trashed it and then made up your Carney story to be first with the technology and shit, stealing dials and plucking stuff out of people's heads, my dad's stuff, my stuff, David. You're not a bitten. If we weren't a bitten, Dave, why would you pluck it out of us? Oh, that was robot. No. It means that we were, David. That you stole from my dad. You stole from Ron Miller's setup. You guys stole from Paul Bueller, Mel Kolb, Colin Powell, the president, Obama, whoever, the Kennedys, the Hiltons. You guys used this as a staging ground to hold the people hostage and steal from Bernard de la Carney, and you sit up in Lancaster or Paso Robles or down south, and you guys have your ranches. How do you get a space station to work or build a ship if you grifted the ship, Ellery? How do you build a new one if you drain the resources out of the cities or the military base, and then you guys make your claims? We won! I'd say you lost. I would say you guys have lost, because look at all the people you guys victimized and left behind. And then you guys try to tell them what to do after there was nothing wrong in the first place, and you guys trashed Bailey stuff or Kim stuff, and Joe makes up a story because they were better at getting it all organized and working before Brian. Those people who spent a lot of money, and then they just go, fuck it, I make the sacrifice, and they just abuse me down to prove a point to you, Bernard, that, your men's method was wrong, and then they do it to prove to you guys that you guys stole their stuff and screwed up their friend and made a mess, Bernard. See, Bernard and Intillaman, don't get involved with it when it was never your business to do it in the first place. Because you guys destroyed data sets, tons of education, you guys have heads in boxes, you move it around, Perlita going around with Bernard, I'm a survivor, whatever. They're following your scammy leadership, Intillaman, Robo Knight, Harry Joe, and I don't know if I'd want that on a ship or a space station, in a car, on a submarine, in a fighter jet, any high dollar material. So how are you going to fix that, Bernard, being hillbilliness and Red Randy running back and forth? You don't think they're getting my stuff? $100 says they are. And so, like I said, since most of you are not going to learn your lesson, I say, hey, military of the world, police officers of the world, San Diego, you win. You win. Firefighters, doctors, teachers, FBI, CIA, NSA, team up. Apple, Microsoft, Intel, IHS, Google, team up. Team up. And NASA. Let's see who else. You know, those team up together, team up with other nations, and build your new superpower base. Because for Bernard's superpower base, he had to lie and make up a story. Same with Harry, Joe, Hillary. So that's your setup, Blue Boy boxes with the Intillaman and his, his tabloid setup. Dr. Demento, A's everywhere, copyright. That's his story. And then you guys can learn the mistakes that they made to make the new superpower base, because they want to stay into some crappy nightmare and the rest of the world wants to evolve. Get it? Get it, Bernard? See why I didn't want to do this stuff, Bernard? Because I already learned how to do it. And I don't like repeating stuff to live in a shithole with a group of assholes, Bernard. So your murder out here, Joe and Harry Bernard, is completely just that. Your stupidity and your greed and your lies, and that's what you get to live because you guys thought it was funny to be racists and all that stuff and screw up my father's stuff. That was probably what the war was all about anyway. Not really about the risk board, but let the Negroes try. And guess what? It didn't work, and that's why you guys had the kids all upset, because they didn't want to do it that way in the first place, because their stuff already worked. So you forcing something, Joe, because you just want to stick your dick in somebody's ass, Robo Knight, Ellery's, you're so proud of that LGBT-ness there, Perlita, caused more of a problem. Because you guys probably would have made it through the racist stuff and the cowboy hillbilly stuff a lot quicker if you just left people the fuck alone, then let it evolve. Like I told you the first time, Harry, don't bit those children down in the red and put the TV shit in there. Supposed Messiah, Harry, Dave, John, Adam. They let you do 2 streets, Jamaica Street, Pickett Street, have it in your delusions. But like I said, now your technology will evolve with your war and your fake eye, Red Randy, Red Gordon, Red Ellery. And guess what? Those people who are already up in space are going to be prepared for your arrival and go, you are the ones that screwed us over.